I just saw Fantastic Four First Steps, the new Fantastic Four movie from the MCU. And honestly, I liked it. It seemed like a good movie. And I'll be honest, going into watching this movie, I was very skeptical because of the way the MCU has been going, how much of a disaster the multiverse saga has been, you know. And this movie was good, honestly, I think because it wasn't connected to the multiverse. I mean, the Fantastic Four are in a world that's in an alternate universe. And I think they're in the 60s or something in the US. That's what I get from the theme. And this movie focuses on the Fantastic Four rather than some other big stuff that's going on the surface. This focuses on the Fantastic Four. And that's a good thing. We get to see the characters, we get to see some sort of character development, and it's good. Now, in this movie, the Fantastic Four are up against Galactus. And I was wondering, what are they gonna do? There's no way they can beat Galactus. I mean, that's a Avengers level villain. That's a potential Secret Wars level type of villain. So they go up against Galactus, and what happens in the movie is, well, Galactus, the Silver Surfer shows up to give warning to the Earth that Galactus is coming and he's going to take the Earth and destroy it. And the Fantastic Four decide to go up into space to try and reason with him. Now, Sue Storm is pregnant at the time and almost ready to give birth. And after Galactus sees them, he says that he wants their child in exchange for sparing the Earth. And they refuse, and they escape from Galactus' ship, and they head back to Earth. And now they're in a position where they have to save the Earth, but they want to save their child too. And there's no way they're going to give up their child. And the people of the Earth, who always love the Fantastic Four, are now a bit skeptical about them, and some think that maybe the child should be given up. But that story, that whole part of the story gets reasoned out pretty quickly. And then they decide to move the Earth into another distant part of the universe where it will take Galactus a long millions of years or something to get there, so they'll be safe. So they decide to do that, and the entire planet's working together. Now, in this universe, I think it's pretty peaceful, honestly. I don't think there's any real issues going on with any countries or anything. It seems to be a peaceful world. And because of that, the entire world works together and does a lot of stuff. That's honestly really awesome to see, the entire planet working together as one unified force. And they plan to move the Earth, and they get everything ready. And then the Silver Surfer shows up. Now, I'm actually skipping a bit of the story here and there because there's a lot of stuff in this movie, story-wise, that's actually good, but I can't really get into all of that in one video, so I'm skipping that. But yeah, so Silver Surfer shows up again, and she destroys the I don't know what they call it, the towers that are used to transport the Earth. So the Fantastic Four are stuck again. They don't know what to do. And Galactus is about to arrive. So they decide to use the one remaining set of towers, I forgot the name, to create a portal and push Galactus in there. Now, that part is a bit too unbelievable. The fact that the four of them could just somehow push Galactus, who's a giant. I mean, he's what? The size of a small city? Into a portal. But anyway, that is the plan. So they decide to use their baby Franklin as bait. Oh yeah, apparently Franklin's supposed to be this cosmic level, god level type of being with infinite powers who can take Galactus' hunger. He has a unsatiable hunger, that's why he eats planets. And apparently Franklin can do that, but we don't see any of that happening in the movie, Franklin's powers or anything. Reed and Sue's son. So they use Franklin as bait, and Galactus shows up, and they move the people out of the city, which is a good move. I mean, in normal superhero movies, we see the buildings get destroyed and all that, and we always think that aren't there a lot of people that are probably dead because of this? But no, they move all the people out of the city, so it's only the buildings that are getting damaged. So Galactus shows up and goes after Franklin, and the Fantastic Four try to divert him and trick him into going to the portal. And they try, but it becomes difficult. And Galactus gets his hands on Franklin. And as he was about to leave with him, Sue decides to use her invisible force field type of powers and pushes Galactus into the portal. Now, that's just too unbelievable. As powerful as Sue might be, the fact that she could push Galactus into the portal by herself, it's a bit too much, but that's what they do. And Reed saves Franklin. And even then, Galactus was about to come back out, but then the Silver Surfer decides to sacrifice herself and pushes Galactus in there with herself. Now, the reason the Silver Surfer does that was because of her backstory and how she's serving Galactus because he spared her planet so that she could be a scout. And she feels guilty about all the planets that she helped destroy. So, kind of a small redemption thing in there. Again, there's some stuff going on in this movie with her and Johnny too, but yeah. So Galactus is pushed into the portal and he's sent across a faraway part of the universe. And without the ship, it will be very difficult for him to get back to Earth anytime soon. So they stop Galactus, but Sue dies in the process because of what happens. Well, she's using her powers and exerting her so much that I think her body just gave out and she dies, and it makes sense. And then as they're all surrounding her and Franklin's going near her and crying and looking at his mother and touching her, she suddenly comes back to life. Franklin brings her back to life. I mean, we see some blue energy or something coming from her eyes and she's back to life, which is incredible. And which kind of proves that Franklin was this godly being or something that Galactus wanted. I mean, the fact that he could bring the dead back to life, that's just insane. Now, and then afterwards, it's over. The Fantastic Four movie's done with. Everyone's happy. They have a happy family of 5 now. And yeah, it's overall a wholesome movie. Now, I only have one problem with the movie is the fact that it's not really doing anything to lead up to Doomsday. Just because the fact that Doctor Doom was traditionally a Fantastic Four villain, and depending on the story, he got his powers along with the Fantastic Four. So I felt like he needed to be a part of this. It could have been a good chance to introduce RDJ's Doctor Doom, but we don't see that. We do get a post-credit scene with Doom just standing near Franklin, but we don't see his face, and that's all that happens. Nothing happens there. So yeah, in terms of connecting everything together with the multiverse stuff, this movie doesn't really help at all. But as an MCU movie by itself, this feels like a good movie. Honestly, this feels like a movie that we would have seen during the Infinity Saga, during the early days of the MCU, where everything wasn't interconnected and an individual story that was just good on its own. And yeah, it was kind of nice, but again, the problem is with Avengers Doomsday coming and all that, you needed to tie up and didn't give us that. And yeah, I don't know how to get around that. I mean, the MCU right now is a mess. Let's face it. But if you like a standalone Marvel movie that doesn't have anything to do with the multiverse stuff and you just want to enjoy the movie for itself, as long as you avoid the post-credit scene, The Fantastic Four is a fantastic movie. Seriously, it's a great movie. I really liked it. It has a solid story and good themes. The theme was really good. I really liked it. Now, the uniforms felt a little old-fashioned to me, but I think these universes are similar to the comics, so I guess that's okay. It fit in with the theme overall. So yeah, The Fantastic Four was a great movie.